What if, like, year 8, I just drop, like, music, you know? We just do, like, music for the show in the very start. What if I did that? What would you do? Would you be confused? I might be confused. Do things like a real streamer. Do a, what, 15-minute to 45-minute pre-show of just music waiting on people. It'd be interesting. See how people react. It'd be very funny. Gotta be careful with copyright. Hey, Draco Kraken. I'd be using, like, commissioned stuff, honestly. I'd probably get somebody to actually, like, make music or something. Um, but yeah, obviously. Also follow it up with an hour of talking before the main content. Hey man, it does happen sometimes. It has actually happened here or there, I believe. All right, what do I start with? We'll go with this. I drink all this. Oh, jeez, I already had one open and I didn't finish it. This is what video games throw out your brain, dude. I can't even remember what I've drank and what I've not. All right. Suggestion: your audio bitrate is tiny and also can't be heard. No, I don't think so. That's all right, YouTube. You're all right. Everything's cool. Here we go. Okay. I'm sorry I don't have something going all the time. Good old YouTube. Well, I suppose we've got a bit of waffling to do because because Boo's not going to be here for a little bit and Aiden will not be here at all tonight, unfortunately. Um but yeah, I will say, um if anybody gives a shit about any of my game opinions, um I just finished Return of the Obra Dinn last night. I love that game actually. Like, I think it's great. Um I know, a controversial opinion. Whoa. But no, I think it's actually fantastic. I absolutely loved its use of inference and deduction and just observation and shit. It is great. Honestly, had a great time with it. I I had to, you know, do the whole thing. I really I hope, actually, I don't know if they're ever going to put out a sequel, but I really hope they do. Of some sort. It doesn't have to be, the same era or anything like that, you know. I just want more of that type of game. It's it's super fucking good. Where, who even made this? Lucas Pope? He made Papers, Please? Yo, that makes sense. That's sick. I didn't know that. Okay, cool. Okay, whoa, careful there. Yeah, super good, honestly. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. I feel those kinds of games, those puzzle games, are easy to mess up. They can be, I guess. It depends on. I don't know. It for me, it and everybody. So I'm not a good sample size, but for me, it really clicked like super good. There was one guy I couldn't figure out why I wasn't getting him, and I realized it was because like the entire time I had thought he got killed by a sword, but he had actually gotten killed by a spear. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I can see that that is the end of a spear now that I look at it. What am I doing? How did I do this? You know? Um, and he was like one of the final guys because I was just like, oh. um, there's actually, it's funny because there's actually an achievement in that game to say that the captain killed everybody. It's funny. I like that. Well, anyway, um, hello and welcome to TableTalk discussion and discourse. I, as always, am your host, Alejo, aka Great on 95. Um, Boo will be here later, but for now, you will have me. Guys only want one thing, and it's for Mozart's Requiem in D minor to be heard at all points across the globe simultaneously as the imagery of Dore's Empyrean swirls above the sky. That's true. Yes. I love already. Hello, August. Stranger Than Heaven song has been playing in loop in my head. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I actually can't. I don't know song names very well unless I've like listened to them and like commit them to memory. I might know it. I don't know. Hold on. Let's find out if I know this song. Stranger Than Heaven. Oh, it's a game. What is this game? Oh, a distant prequel to the Like a Dragon franchise. Why do they call it that and not just Yakuza anymore? I don't understand. Um, okay, cool. That's exciting. I was playing Like a Dragon Ishin not too long ago. I was having some fun with that. Um, cool. Cool, cool, cool. I'm glad another one's coming. I do like me some Yakuza. It's good stuff. But yeah, I finished Obra Dinn. I would highly recommend that. I started today before the stream. I started something called Yellow Taxi Goes Vroom. It's super fun actually. I really like it. I'd recommend that one too. So far, I've only played it for like an hour, but like it's got good stuff. It feels good. You're a little taxi, a little wind up taxi. You just go around and do stuff. You'd think that the wind up aspect would make you have a shit time limit, but it doesn't. Um, it really like I was in my first level of like there being a time limit, and I had like 600 seconds in the first like 2 minutes, and so I was good. So yeah, check that one out if you like weird platforming kind of games. Um, it's good stuff. I think there was something else that I was playing that I can't remember. I just kind of started playing a couple games just in general, just seeing going back to them and stuff. I don't know. Obra Dinn was really taking up most of my time, and that was only what 8 hours, just because I was making double sure about a bunch of stuff and trying to figure it out. Legitimately, I need more games like that. It's the like the blue something. It's like a puzzle game or something that's like the roguelike puzzle game. What is that? Hold on. I'll find it. I know what it is. No, I don't, but like I know I can find it. It's on my wish list. Where are you? Okay, I have too many things on my wish list. It's gonna take me forever. I'm not gonna look for this. Anyway, what do you mean by rendering in terms of the topic? So, today we're talking about crime, and we're talking about rendering. Yes. So rendering in this case actually is talking about scene rendering. It's gonna be coming from Mystic Arts. Somebody who we've covered a couple of times who has some very interesting perspectives. And the video is about getting players to roleplay by rendering scenes. So we'll be covering that later on today. I'm not entirely sure what that means. And I'm excited to figure it out and listen to it. Because it's one of those things where, of course, we have a different experience to a lot of people, apparently, getting people to roleplay and all that because of our dynamic as a group. So, it'll be helpful if I ever do things with new people, I suppose, to get them to, hopefully the point is to get them into role-playing a bit more naturally or in some way that makes it easier for them, right? And yeah, I'm interested to see what that means. But first, before we get to that, I want to talk about crime, okay? So this first video is actually a Nerdarchy video. We've covered Nerdarchy many a time in the past, but I didn't actually realize it was a Nerdarchy video until I opened it up. I did not see who it was by, but this is crime TTRPGs done right. Build compelling criminals by Nerdarchy right here. It's also during the COVID times, interestingly enough. Though, is it? Because I feel like they're in the same exact place. Because this looks just like... Oh, well, I guess it's Dave's basement that they're usually in or something. But, yeah, I like the idea of thinking about crime in a bit more of a realistic sense, right? And trying to make, criminals feel more real and all of that. Trying to get it so that we can run them a bit more... make them a bit more believable and satisfying, right? We'll see how it goes with this video. This video is only 10 minutes long, so we'll see how much we get here. I'm not entirely sure. It's not about rendering live from fat. I'm disappointed. I apologize. Love crime. If I didn't grow up to be a straight-laced lame duck, I would have been a crime boss turned president. Hell yeah, dude. Crime. So, I suppose without further ado, let us begin.
Welcome to Nerdarchy. For nerds, by nerds, I'm Nerdarchy.
It's very, very, very quiet.
Dave.
And I'm Nerdarchy's Ted. Tonight, we're pulling back the curtain.
Zoo Mafia. Building believable beasts in a criminal jungle.
Set in the 1920s-style Prohibition-era zoo. Zoo Mafia is a gritty animal noir crime drama where the animals secretly run their own mob world after hours. Your character isn't just a tiger or a raccoon. They're a button man, a grifter, a getaway driver, and nobody wants the humans to catch on.
In Zoo Mafia, character creation starts with the gimmick.
Okay.
I'm a koala with brass knuckles.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. Okay. We are just fucking flying. What are we doing? Okay, Zoo Mafia is what we're talking about. It took me a while to even get to that point of knowing what the fuck we were talking about. Zoo Mafia. Okay. Zoo Mafia TTRPG. They made it. See, I didn't know that. This is a Nerdarchy created game. Okay. Zoo Mafia, go wild, do crime, don't let humans catch you. That is what this tagline says on the I assume this is a done Kickstarter. Oh, it's launching soon? Wait. Sorry, hang on. So this is the thing. You guys can't see it. Hang on. I got to do this in a way that you guys can actually see what's going on here. We'll do this, and we'll do this, and we'll do this. That'll work. All right. So, Zoo Mafia, made by Nernerky, launching soon. This video I thought was kind of older though. Hold on. I need to fact check myself. Hang on. Just so that we're all aware of biases and such. This was 8 months ago. Okay. That's why it's launching soon. I thought, man, I thought this was COVID era because they're sitting, you know, in front of cameras. This is very strange. Okay.
Hello.
Hello. You've made it just in time.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
Good. I'll get in the watch together.
Yeah.
I'll
So
have to not do the Serious Sam cutscenes. How sad.
it's interesting because the playlist is still there for us for when we need it, which is funny.
Yeah. So I guess history then? Or
Yeah,
I guess
if
it doesn't
you
really
just-
matter.
I mean, you don't have to worry about that. I've got the thing all set
Yeah.
and going. So,
Yeah.
but we're talking about crime.
Okay.
And specifically,
Well, given your heritage, I'm sure you're very familiar with at least some of them.
Wow. Nice.
And don't worry, hey, I am too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Don't worry, I am as well.
But yeah, this is crime TTRPGs done right. And so I was looking into this because they started going very, very quick, right? This is only 10 minutes, and it feels it. Let me just play a little
Like
bit.
they're
for you.
racing through it.
Yeah.
Animals secretly run their own mob world after hours. Your character isn't just a tiger or a raccoon, they're a button man, a grifter, a getaway driver, and nobody wants the humans to catch on.
In Zoo Mafia, character creation.
So like it's that fast.
Jesus, yeah. I
So like, and I was like, whoa, what are we doing? Okay. And I looked
Yeah,
into
and so-
Zoo Mafia, and Zoo Mafia is something that they kickstarted.
I see.
So I think this is more of a
and-
pitch.
Just for clarification, we're talking about crime in TTRPGs, not
Yeah.
crime TTRPGs.
What drew me in was here saying build compelling criminals. So
Okay.
I was assuming using them in TTRPGs in a way that makes them more compelling, right? And this is being, I guess, set up through the lens of Zoo Mafia, which
Yeah.
could be helpful with this or not.
Fucking cultural appropriation. That's my people's thing. What the hell?
But yeah, so I was just looking at the Kickstarter, and it's launching soon because this video came out 8 months ago.
Okay.
So it's actually more recent, even though they're doing it in this style. Which made me think, oh, this is like a COVID video, you know?
Yeah, this is like ancient times.
Yeah, exactly. And I was just like, oh, this is weird. But yeah, so we'll see, I guess, how they do this. Because I'm hoping that we don't have it so fucking fast, but we'll see.
Yeah, that would be nice. Hopefully that's just kind of like a an opening kind of stinger type deal.
I don't think so, because it's only 10 minutes, this video, so
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
they usually go for a while longer. Hello, Timothy.
Yeah.
Humans are my favorite species, so to see them discriminate this way by the animal world just boils my bubbles. Yes, exactly, August. I know. Zoo Mafia does sound like a cool idea. I like it as a concept. it's always fun to do like animals doing crime. That's good times.
Yeah. Yeah, because like you might have, if you're like, let's say cyberpunk, a lot of the times you're doing crime in cyberpunk. So, you've got humans doing crime, and everybody at least has the same inherent abilities.
Yeah.
But if you're an animal type setting, like a anthropomorphic animal setting, you might have a monkey who is really, really good at climbing.
Exactly.
And you might have a horse who's really fucking fast, a la Uma Musume. Or like a bear who is like your big muscle guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just neat to have that kind of built into the character's identity.
Yeah, totally. And then you have those that are kind of trying to break the mold. Oh, I'm the big bear that's always seen as the smash and grab type, but I really don't want to be that. I actually want to be the hacker guy.
I'm the sneaky guy.
Yeah, I'm the sneaky guy. I get behind. They never see me.
Yeah. Actually, it reminds me, I don't remember what this was from, but it was talking about how, I think it might have been, no, you know what? I think it might have been Spoony. A long time ago, where
ancient
he was talking about making a halfling who was essentially like a kind of like a mafia thug, essentially.
Yeah.
Where everybody is like, what the hell is just this fucking halfling? And you're like, am I supposed to be intimidated? He walks up and like smashes your kneecaps.
Yeah.
Because, well... And so you can even do that in D&D where you have like these small characters that are built like fucking freight trains.
Yeah, totally.
Also a la Hinamaru Sumo, which is significantly more based than the first thing I said. Sure. I already forgot. That's how unbased it is.
Sure.
It starts with the gimmick. I'm a koala with brass knuckles, but that won't carry your character past session 1. The trick is turning the gimmick into grit. It's not enough to be an animal with attitude. You've got to build the beast behind the brass knuckles. What's their hustle? What's their dream? And how close are they to breaking the cardinal rule? Don't let the humans catch you.
All right, so the danger of one gag characters. A funny animal idea gets old fast. Give them desires, regrets, a code, even if it's broken. What does your penguin safecracker want out of the life?
Yeah, so it's really important in any kind of RPG, really, not just Zoo Mafia, is to figure out, again, like we've kind of talked about in previous videos, what is your character's motivation? What are they doing this for? What do they want? In a game like Zoo Mafia, it's really easy to fall into these kind of quirky, gimmicky kind of character traits because that is a part of the game and it can be fun. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. I'm just saying you should dig a little deeper.
It is absolutely tough to walk the road when you're stepping into something as knit as Zoo Mafia. You want to tread a little carefully because, all right, we already know you're an animal. We already know you're a criminal. Therefore, like the meter only goes so far. Are you cutthroat, bloodthirsty kind of criminal? Or are you, I want to get the job done with as little bloodshed and bodies as possible? Are you?
Ooh, okay. So, I think the most important thing that we've got here so far is just, you don't want to be one note. And that's just, I mean, a thing that goes across any characters whatsoever, right?
Mm-hmm. It was like character building 101.
Exactly. And it's interesting to see this being the first thing. I mean, like, I get why you would do it, considering you're trying to, like, I don't know, part of me is just like, you don't need to, like, tell...
Why are we even, like, fully, like, addressing it?
Exactly. You don't need to tell people how to, like, do this, necessarily, because I think most people at this point, who are going to be backing your game, are probably aware of how to play characters, and, like, even if they do it with that one-note jokey kind of way, that's fine, you know? And now I'm just like... Is this gonna be pitching this stuff more so, or is this gonna be like pitching the game more so, or is this gonna be like we're going over these basics because of the fact that we might have new people because of it? Like what are we doing?
Yeah, are we talking about actual crime, or are we basically just kind of pitching the game to new people?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not racist against humans, but I'm just saying 100% of people in prison are humans. That is true.
That is, oh my god, you're absolutely right. Well, okay, now wait a minute. What about zoos? Are those prisons
Well,
as
now,
well? They're
that's the
nice
thing.
prisons. They're like,
are they even considered prisons? Because a zoo usually is for conservation and upkeeping an animal's well-being.
it is true, but they are also behind bars.
Not all the time. Sometimes there's glass.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah,
glass.
yeah.
But I mean, I think Hannibal Lecter was behind glass too, wasn't he?
He
So, I
was.
think that
That's
still applies.
true.
Yeah. So
you got me.
some movie jails.
Yep. Yep. You got me. Excuse me. I spent a lot of time watching mob documentaries. I could run Zoo Mafia pretty quickly. Hell yeah, there you go.
Yeah, nice. And if you've played Vampire, well, that's a Mafia game.
Yeah,
that.
that's right. Hey, come back.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave, forget about it. True.
You a reluctant criminal? Are you in it and like, all right, I got a reason for being in there. All right, I got a family to support, and this is the only way to do it. But I'm hesitant. I need to be pushed across that line every time. I need that nudge from dude behind me to make me act because I really don't want to be doing this. These decisions help figure out like what is the depth of your character. Why are you here? What are you doing? As I said, the desires of regrets the code. These are things that you really have to kind of
do
dive
crime.
into.
Yeah, exactly. I want crime.
Yeah, I want to do fucking crime. I don't really know what it is, but I feel like at this point, I'm kind of sick of the, oh man, I'm so hesitant. I don't want to do the crime, but I have to for my family. You know, I kind of want to just have a character that just is a criminal and is like, yo, let's do some crimes. Let's do it. I'm down.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can.
That's just
like
it just feels slightly more interesting to me.
Sure, if that's the way that it works for you, yeah. I mean, like, it's just one of those things where you don't have to be hesitant in a way that is, like, pathetic, I guess, you know?
Yeah, right.
You can still be hesitant, but it's more so just a, more of a survival strategy kind of way, if you will, you know? Looking at things and saying, okay, but I understand that we want to do this job, but, like, this job might be easier to do and make it so that we're not as discoverable because of this and this and you know, like being more of the planner kind of hesitant than the I don't know about doing a crime.
Yeah. It's specifically that kind of hesitancy.
Sure.
Where it's just the I don't want to crime, but I'm pressed into it and I'm a bitch.
I still think
it just feels bitchy to me.
I still think that it's really good just to see that progression because sometimes it can turn into something where you see where they came from, you know? And then you go, oh, well, you're fucked now, and they're like, yeah, I guess I am.
That is true.
You know, that's
I guess I just wouldn't want to see that without it changing, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, that's the one note aspect,
I wouldn't want to see
right?
it without... Yeah, that would be very one note. And it would be that kind of one note that, at least to me, is kind of in the same category of annoyance as, like, the permanently goody two-shoes paladin that will fuck over the party. That level of
exactly.
I don't like it.
Yeah, which, again, like, if anybody is playing something super one-note all the time without any nuance whatsoever, then yeah, absolutely, that would get super annoying very quickly.
Yeah, I think it's just, I hear about that so often, you know, the reluctant hero, the reluctant criminal, the reluctant blank.
Sure.
I kind of want to just see a character that's just completely down, you know?
Sure,
I feel like that's just a less common path to take.
I think... Yeah, I'm not sure, because I would have to look into it a bit more, but I don't think I've heard of a lot of reluctance that's in the way of, like, it being annoying, you know?
Yeah, it's true. I think the problem for me is that that happens quite a lot in anime, where there's a reluctant MC.
Yeah,
you know?
Anime sucks, I get you.
That's true, anime sucks. We should have got him that third time.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Awful.
So nice we nuked it thrice.
In Zoo Mafia, do all types of animals work together, or is a rival family sort of thing, or a bit of both? I'm not sure. I mean,
we don't know yet, actually.
I would assume that you could set it up however you want, you know, because it's
Yeah, that would be that would be pretty funny. They have like the rat mafia going against like the cat Gestapo or whatever.
Yeah, it'd be sick, actually. I would love that. Boo, if you've seen it, what do you think of the main character of Black Lagoon? Not Revy, I mean guy. I forgot his name.
I've never seen it.
Okay.
I do know that he is that type of character, but I can't say because I've never seen it.
There you go.
It was not one of the ones that really went onto my radar.
Yeah.
To give that character more life. And regardless of the game, regardless of the setting, the more depth that you add to character is going to allow you to feel more involved in the world. You're more immersed in the world because it feels more real to both you and the character.
That completely makes a lot of sense. We've played a bunch of...
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't mean to pick on like the video presentation, but I have to every time I notice these fucking things. I get that we're cutting out pauses and stuff. Let's be careful with the cuts because you just cut off when he said character. He didn't finish the word, man. Like I understand we gotta fucking go. All right, I do get that. Snappy editing.
We gotta get to those zoomers with the fucking microsecond attention spans, right?
Yeah, snappy editing can be good, but man, oh man, can we just like you're going so fast and you're now cutting a bunch of pausing, which again, that's fine, but like don't make it so that you're cutting out the words.
Yeah, like just calm down. It's okay.
I get it. That's fine.
Zoo Mafia games now on the channel, off the channel, and we've explored all kinds of different gimmicks and things that are a lot different than one would expect. Actually, romance has come up a lot for some reason in our Zoo Mafia games. I probably would blame Bobby and Robin for that, but I think we've all leaned into it to a certain degree or another. Laws make legends. Maybe your raccoon bruiser hits too hard. Maybe your ferret grifter double crosses too easily. The best Zoo Mafia characters aren't perfect. They're barely holding it together.
This is a scenario where it's a tough world. You really have to understand that you're scraping at the bottom of the barrel. You're hobnobbing with the other criminals and trying to impress them. So if you are going to cross this line, what is it that has gotten you to this point? What keeps you going back to this life of crime? Even though there is absolutely the possibility of regular life that's out there. Like we talk about the crime world, but in just about every game, there's always been interactions with the regular non-mobsters to see exactly what does that look like. And at any point in time, you can just be like, you know what? I'm going to hang up my brass knuckles. I'm going to hang up my gun and I'm just out. But something about this world keeps you there. What is it?
Yeah, like one of my favorite characters to play in Zoo Mafia, I would say, was probably Flick, who was a sugar glider, private eye turned criminal because he had something really bad happen in his life. And like he was divorced, he had lost a child. And the child was lost to mob violence. He didn't become a criminal because he wanted to commit crimes. He became a criminal because he wanted to infiltrate an organization that he held responsible for the death of his kid. His only goal wasn't even to get out of his life alive. It was just to get revenge for this accidental killing that happened in his life. And
I like that as a sugar glider.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
Oh, I couldn't even tell that's what he said when he said that.
Oh.
He said that so quickly. I'm like...
Yeah, I know. It's... I don't know what we're doing here. I
don't know.
The presentation is not
I'm glad
great.
for the clarification.
Thank you. Yeah, totally.
Really, like, totally destroyed his life from there on out, right? So he wasn't trying to be a criminal. He was just trying to get justice for an injustice that he felt was done. And in the meantime, like, all of his life is falling apart. The barely holding it together part, he didn't really have.
What is this fucking, like, jumping around with the screen editing? What is this?
I don't know. That's even worse for me.
Yeah, it's just like, focus.
Just hold the fuck still. It's okay.
Focus on what the person, focus on what they're saying, and just let them be.
Yeah.
It was only through, like, forming this mob and getting involved with them and getting to his ultimate goal that was the only thing he was able to hold on to at the very end, compared to some of my other characters where this one was very serious and kind of dark. And a lot of my other characters tended to be a lot more lighthearted and fun, like Tully the Tortoise, who just like setting things on fire, going really fast, had a passion for flamingo ladies.
That one was absolutely a fun game, but it builds the narrative for who Flick was and how it all got done. You could check out that story in Blood Moon Rises, which is the game run by Bobby. Those kind of enriched backstories really help shape a character and shape their decisions. But in this essence, that's a flaw. Like that character is single-minded, does not care if he lives or dies. He has a mission to do, and nothing is off limits. so long as it gets him closer to that goal. And you operated for a long time before that came out. And that was really cool to see.
Yeah, that and having an ex-wife in the game was kind of funny too, who ended up working for the other side. Like, she dealt with her grief differently. She became a Fed, where I went completely the other way. And then, Bobby played an armadillo banker who got a shitty retirement and was just tired of seeing how the banks in the system was just beating down the common man. So he kind of turned to crime, almost like a Robin Hood style figure, right?
Hell yeah.
So, there's a lot of different ways to play these character types, whether you're playing Zoo Mafia or just another RPG where maybe your characters are more on the...
Okay, so a lot of this is just focusing on making sure that your character has sufficient motive and a sufficient backstory and just, these, again, very basic things, right? That you would want for every character. This is just kind of more skewed towards crime, which... Yeah,
sure.
It's there is nothing here that is anything to do, anything that is new, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, no.
The only thing that's new is Zoo Mafia, which is not out yet. No. But
8 months ago, it's still not out.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it does take a while to get those things published and stuff. I think I'm still waiting on oh, why can't I remember the name of the game? I'm waiting on fuck. Anyway, I'm still waiting on a couple of games to come out that I've backed.
Yeah. I see.
So, and nothing wrong with that. If it takes a year, it takes a year, whatever. It's coming.
Yeah.
But yeah, the video is so far is just so bare bones basic that I'm like, okay.
Yeah, we can. This feels like one that we should skip forward.
Well, I mean,
not skip the whole video. I mean, skip into the video to see if they talk.
We're already halfway through. It's already almost over. That's the thing. So we can't really skip.
Yeah.
Wrong side of the tracks, more of criminals. But just because you're playing that style of game and you're playing an evil character or criminal doesn't mean you have to be one-dimensional.
So, Zoo life leaves scars. The bars might be literal or metaphorical. Build on the setting. What does it mean to be a mobster in captivity? Is your guerrilla getaway driver still haunted by the last job that went wrong?
That kind of speaks to the nature of the world you're playing in. And it doesn't matter if you're playing D&D, Zoo Mafia, what is the world you're playing in and how does it affect your character? How is that going to determine what you're going to be like in a 1920s, 1930s style game, right? There's going to be different lingo. You're going to have different levels of technology. The knowledge base that your character is going to have is going to be vastly different from a medieval game, right? There's newspapers, there's radios, there's telephones. Or you can extrapolate even further out when you're playing a modern game like Monster of the Week or a futuristic game like The Expanse, right? The settings, the backgrounds, these are going to affect what kind of character you play and what's going to be important to them. On the Outer Rim, for the Belters, it's really hard to get cheese in an Expanse world. So one of the players was playing a cheese smuggler, which sounds silly to delve into the world, right? In Zoo Mafia, we're generally smuggling booze and sometimes firearms and other illicit goods. But the big center piece is prohibition. So that's going to shape a lot of how the characters are, right? Even some of the beat cops may be found at a speakeasy because, well, they still want to drink and they still want to get drunk, even though it's their job to enforce prohibition. Do they do it?
So regardless of what your setting is, look at what is unique to that world and see if there's a way to tie your character to that. We like making these rich worlds.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
very basic.
Is there anything more that we can kind of draw from this? Legitimately, for criminals, for criminals specifically, it's just I think that the biggest thing that you want to do, and I'm not even talking about just being characters that are criminals. I'm just talking about making criminals as a part of the world, right? Now they're talking about, and this is true, you talk about or you have to think about what their function is in society, right? Because as criminals, I understand you don't want them as the common person, but they do have a function, right? Depending on the time, as they've said before, you've got stuff like Prohibition in the early 20s where crime was get the alcohol to the people, right? Because they will pay for it. Yes.
Hang on. I'm sorry.
But yeah, so you get the alcohol
Right.
out there into a speakeasy, you make it so that you can make the money from it. Yeah, you get the people to come in and continue to be your customers, right? Like,
Yes.
that's the function at that point.
All right, so I'm going to have to cut you off really quick. I'm
Sure.
sorry, because we're talking about animal crime and
Sure.
prohibition. It was not the prohibition, it was the crohibition.
Nice.
Anyway, continue.
Nice. That was
That
worth
was it.
it.
That was all I had.
So worth it. Holy shit. I was waiting
Yes,
for it.
totally. Yeah, completely worth it.
But but yeah, so
That'll back me up.
other no, they won't. The other crime that you can see is like something like smuggling of people. Smuggling of people can be definitely one that is a function that is used by both the regular common people as well as other criminals, right? It's a function that is put into the world so that people can get to places if they're not allowed to, you know? Like, it's one of the, to try to get a better life or just to try to get somebody, you know? I think figuring out the function of your criminal empire, quote unquote, whatever it might be, even if it's a small operation, is probably a good first step. And then you can kind of figure out what that kind of looks like from the top down, right? Because the goal of the person who's at the top might not be the same goal as the people at the bottom, right?
Exactly.
Like, they're there to help facilitate that goal, but they could completely be doing it in a different way that the boss doesn't know about. You know? Making money on the side, doing other kinds of, like, it's the thing of, like, you see it all the time in a lot of mafia media, if you will, where they're doing smuggling of, like, booze and all that kind of stuff, and then you have the ones that turn to drugs, right? They turn to actually selling drugs because of the profit and getting people addicted to it to then get them to continue to be that customer and everything. Like, they're still doing the job, but they're also doing their side job to make more money because they want to have more money, right?
Yeah, Goodfellas.
Goodfellas, yes. So, like, you can go from those kinds of things and make it so that that impact is spiraling out of control in some ways, you know, make it so that you can find those avenues that they're taking that are making them more discoverable or more a nuisance to the law. You can kind of figure out the relationship between the law and the criminals, like seeing how, if they can buy them off, you know, if they have some in their pocket, or if you have those ones who are incorruptible. Uncorruptible?
Yeah, either.
Okay.
I think incorruptible.
Okay. And making it so that you then go, oh, okay, because of the fact that they're operating in this area, maybe it's more of an incorruptible kind of place in terms of these precincts, and so it's harder for them to earn money there, so maybe they don't have as much of a presence, and then they have way more of a presence over here, and then you can kind of divide territory between them and other empires, quote unquote, you know, like, it can become this whole thing that you can build off of what a purpose is that they serve, right?
Yeah. And then that dynamic can actually shift a lot when you start having if you have characters and players that are criminals, because we'll use the same, like, drugs and alcohol example.
Yeah.
Maybe the players are some criminals that only do alcohol, like they're trying to adhere to the whole, like, the family's code or whatever, and then they discover that maybe some of their, like, another group of people within the family are doing the drug hustling, and maybe they get, like, bought off by the NP, like the bad guys, or maybe they try to rat them out, and then there's a conflict and a divide between the family, and then that can happen whether or not the players are doing the alcohol or the drugs, because they may be the ones doing the drugs.
Exactly.
Because they just need more money for whatever reason.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you have them rising in the ranks potentially because of this, getting more responsibilities or more territory, and just all of this kind of stuff. They can really blossom because of all of this.
And once you get to that point, the risk of being discovered in whether or not you're doing the drugs on top of the alcohol, that can put a lot of tension in there.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, just
do things. Yeah.
Do crime, Do crime.
Do crime. Do crimes. do crimes.
Yeah, so far this has just kind of been their story, which is fine. Like, you get examples and stuff of these kinds of things, and it's neat to see the archetypes that they come up with and what they do. But I would like more,
Yes. Something beyond, like, just kind of the most basic RPG advice ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
No, I agree 100%. It should be more
no, I'm not
specialized.
apologizing to you.
No, I know. You shouldn't have to apologize whatsoever, because it's specifically, this should be specific to crime. Like, it really should be. And technically they're flavoring it that way. There's a little hint of it in the powder. But it is mostly just stuff that you would hear from any other video about any character creation.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not sure what I'm gaining other than the story about the sugar glider and then the penguin and all this kind of stuff, Which, again, that's fine.
They're neat stories, but they're effectively useless for me.
Right. Because I'm not seeing more of the mechanics,
Yeah.
If you
like,
give me more...
Tell me how the mechanics of this game facilitate doing crimes.
Exactly.
Do you have a unique system for stuff that makes me be like, ooh, I want to try that. That sounds really neat. I want to make a character that utilizes that system. Blah, 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 blah.
Yes, because, like, with this building of characters, you have to have mechanics in there because of how they are, and you can fit certain archetypes to those mechanics, At least that's the hope, but I don't know.
Yeah. We'll never know, because the video is almost over.
Exactly. Ants make the best criminals. They're great at sneaking into human houses and stealing the sugar. Raiding human picnics, too. Cats are pretty good grifters, though. There you go. Yeah. Ants versus
termites. I would say cats would be really good at, like, smash and grab jobs, because they always knock shit off of things.
That's true. I have to keep my things very high, or in a place that isn't prone to being broken when they throw them.
Yeah. Indeed. Birds, too, apparently. Like, intelligent birds.
Oh, yeah.
Like macaws and stuff.
Oh, really?
They apparently like to knock shit off tables.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Dogs are the best grifters, though. They'll make you give them your food and like it. True.
Make a golden retriever as the face man.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah. There you go.
That'd be great.
Cats could deal catnip. True. There you go. Furry Zoo Mafia speaks to me. That's nice, yeah. Cats could deal catnip.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That'd be great.
That are chock full of all kinds of stuff. With the game that Robin's running on the channel, the Old Guard, when she dropped the information of, like, the tieflings are, like, the former nobles who have been basically cast out, I'm like, oh, okay, well, that sounds like it would be a lot of fun kind of touch base with. And each of, like, these 13 different noble houses all have rich lore and different iconography that goes along with them. So I'm like, well, I definitely want to play a tiefling now, because there's this connection to this story of not, because I want to be a noble and blah, blah, blah. That's the past. They used to be. Now they're all in decrepit states. They're not in power anymore. This is a cool struggle to kind of, like, buck against it, to fight alongside. I'm like, yeah, gimme. That's always the thing of, if a DM tells you, here's how my world's unique, latch onto that, because that's the stuff that's important to them. And therefore, you're likely to get more into the story because your character is already attached to it.
I would say the other side of that, just from the other side of this, the DM screen, is let your players help build your worlds at least a little bit, so you can get more of that buy-in.
It's always fun to kind of work together in building a setting. And I'm like, oh, well, if you wanted to be a part of this whole thing, I'm like, well, could we add a 14th house and have this whole thing here and do this thing there? I'm certain if I had approached Robin with that, it would be signed, sealed, delivered. Robin's an awesome GM like that. You can look at it from the other side of, like, connecting to that world with a cool backstory that has something to come up later. Having a story that kind of comes back around is really great. There's lots of players like, oh yeah, all of my family is dead, therefore now you can't use it against me. It's like, well, that's what you think. The DM always has full narrative control. They can be like, well, it was they didn't really die, or well, now they're undead. There's always ways to kind of bring these elements
That's a better
back.
way to do it.
Yeah, it could be. I just, you know.
Yeah, this is effectively nothing.
Yeah.
So I think it's fun to give your DM the tools to have your character have hardship and whatnot in the future, because then it's a more real world. We don't get to, oh well, this thing has happened to me, I'm gonna now flush and forget, and it never comes back ever again. That's not the way the world works. That's not the way any fictional world works. There's always conflict. There's always problems. Therefore, feed those concepts to the GM, and those that are interesting, the DM can latch onto. A player in one of my offline games started giving me all this backstory, and I'm like, oh, I can use that, and I can attach it to this other thing here.
All right, I don't care anymore. I'm sorry. I'm not. We're done with this. This is.
I'm surprised you lasted this long.
I know. That's the. If you want the last 30 seconds of that video, go ahead. It's in the description. Like, legitimately, it's just.
There's nothing here for us.
There's nothing in there that's anything to do with anything that isn't basic. That's my problem.
Yeah.
If we had anything to do with, like, the most that you can get from this is have your character have a goal and have them have a backstory and have them be a part of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I agree.
And...
Don't get me wrong. I absolutely agree. But, like, tell me more about, I don't know, like, this is supposed to be for Zoo Mafia, and it can be, it can be broadly applied to every TTRPG regardless, but, like, tell me about Zoo Mafia and how to make something in it that I can then, like, potentially take ideas from. Okay? Like, yeah, the stories do give me a little bit of that with, like, the sugar glider thing. Okay? Like, but it's not much is my problem, because I just, like, what else am I supposed to get? I went off about having a function.
Yes.
Like, that's something more broad. But that's also something that can be world building, and also it can be something that you can apply to a character, right? Like, I just, what am I supposed to do with this other than say, okay. This doesn't make me excited for Zoo Mafia, okay?
Yeah.
It doesn't make me say, oh, I want to be a criminal that much more. Like, just tell me about the game, I guess, at this point.
Yeah.
There must be...
tell me about the game. Tell me what about your game makes crime more unique than other games.
Exactly. If it is the
why should I play this? Tell me.
If it's the exact same thing, but it's just animals, and you have to not be seen by humans, great. Okay. Just tell me about that, then.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they have... Okay.
Why? Can you tell me a little bit about the world? Like... why are animals not able to be seen by humans? Like, I mean, why do they want to be avoids being seen?
Exactly.
And what does crime have to do with this? Like,
yes. And, like, I see they have other videos, okay? They do have other videos. They are years old, and they only have under 200 views, it looks like. Ooh, wow. Okay, didn't realize that. Oh, that one has almost 500. Okay. So Zoo Mafia TTRPG Playbooks, The Grifter. There you go. That one has at least 1,000.
Okay, that's got something.
Yeah, so, like, stuff like that will be way more helpful than this, because this is nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, you haven't made this in a way that is anything to do with the game, really.
Yeah.
I'm looking at maybe your best bet is to go and watch their actual play. They have actual plays on here of it, so there you go. That can probably tell you way more than the videos. I mean, I get that you need to make videos that people will click watch through and all of that, right? 10 minutes is fine, but give me something in those 10 minutes to actually, like, interest me further, I guess.
Well, I mean, I don't even know if I would agree with that, because fucking TTRPG players aren't the type to be, like, super fucking impatient with videos like this. If we are interested in learning about your game, we'll take the time to just sit there. I mean, hell, fucking TTRPGs are not quick games.
That's true, but at the same time, I also don't see it as a problem if you make your video interesting.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I'm just saying that you can have more time.
I also understand that we need to make the money. So, like, there is part of that, but, like, you know, I don't know, man. It's your
I'm pretty
game
sure they
that
would have
you
jobs
made.
though.
Well, this is their job, I think.
I don't think it could be if they're only getting 200 views.
Well, so, I mean, Nerdarchy's been around for fucking ever, first off. They probably have a shit ton on their Patreon, to be fair, as well.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, that's fair.
Like, that's the thing, right? So, it doesn't feel like, and I can tell there's passion behind it when they're talking about the stories and stuff, right? But it doesn't feel exactly the same because I'm not getting anything about your game, really. I would love for you to tell me about your game for like an hour. Go for it.
Honestly.
You know? Just do it, okay? You can split it up into these 10-minute videos and stuff if you want to after the fact, whatever. But, like, just give me something here. Because I see in this playlist, let me look at this playlist. So we've got a design diary that's, like, a few design diaries. Interesting.
Okay.
And then... Oh, that's mostly design. Okay, and then... Oh, okay. Using other systems with Zoo Mafia. So, like, Cypher, using that, or using Zoo Mafia in that. Playtest update. The playbooks, there they are, okay. How to run mob-focused TTRPG campaign Zoo Mafia RPG. Okay, that one's like their most no, that's not even their most recent video, but they just haven't updated this playlist.
Oh.
Okay, that's a year ago, is what that is.
Oh, jeez.
So, like, again, maybe that one would have something, but I don't know, and I don't really care, unfortunately.
How rude.
I don't. It's just like, I don't know, man. If you're gonna give me bare bones basics, maybe in those other more specified ones, maybe we'll get something. But I wanted to think about crime in general, and that's what I was sold with.
What is this video's title?
Crime TTRPGs done right, build compelling criminals.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
They gave me a bit of an expectation.
Yeah, what the hell?
And I'm like, yeah, part of that is making sure that you have the reason why your character is even fucking there in the first place. Absolutely. And that's based upon this and this and this and this. I get that. I do get that. But there should be a bit more about, I don't know, the characters and, like, utilizing the game to...
How to make the character within the game? Wouldn't that be nice?
Well, utilizing the game to facilitate your idea. That's really more of what I want. Rather, like, they don't have to go into, like, a whole playbook like they've had in the other videos. They don't have to do that. They just have to tell me mechanics here and there that could apply to this or that archetype. You know? That's all you got to do. And then you can tell me, or then I can say, those are some interesting mechanics. Maybe I want to look into more of those mechanics. Right? And then we go down the rabbit hole. And we look more into how Zoo Mafia is and what it's got, and then we get that whole thing. But no, we don't got that. That's not it.
Yeah, the most basic character building ever.
I'm sorry, Nerdarchy. You've been around for a long time, but, like, this is not a video that I would recommend to people.
Yeah.
I would just get a different video and then say, all right, Now, if you want to be a criminal, we'll talk.
Yeah, right?
Like, I tell them how to make a character first, and then, Anyway.
Yeah.
I found Dungeon Craft reviewing Zoo Mafia 2 years ago. Yes, I saw that. I did see that.
Oh.
So they've had playtest stuff, I assume, for a very long time. And that's what's been reviewed and everything. But, yeah, it's not officially out yet, so.
Yeah.
It's not about crime, but I vote for looking into Mouse Guard eventually. I have heard of Mouse Guard.
I think I have too, actually.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Is that the one with the cool inventory system?
Maybe.
Mouse Guard. Let me just make sure. Oh, it's a comic book series and a role-playing game.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
Neato.
That's cool. Oh, the art is so adorable.
Oh, really?
Oh my god, I love this art. Yes. Hold on.
Nice. 1 second.
Oh, I fucking love that art, actually, like, a lot.
Let's see.
Oh, I can't. Oh, page not found. No! I'm sure I can find it. Oh, for those of you who are wondering what it looks like, I'm sorry. That's my bad. This art looks fucking adorable.
Oh!
Look at that.
Yeah, isn't that like, that is a very particular art style.
Yeah. I've seen it before. I don't know what it is, but I love it.
Yeah. It's like really, it's like the old, like, fairy tale books.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Definitely look into that. Ooh. Love that.
It kind of makes me think of like the really classic Winnie the Pooh stuff.
Yes.
Like how that used to look.
Yes.
And I don't remember the name of it now. Damn it. Never mind. I forgot the name of the thing I was thinking of.
Yeah.
But it's that similar art style. It's very pretty.
Yeah, for sure. I love it.
I don't know the name of that.
I don't know either. I'll look into it later.
Yeah.
Why is there so much content about Zoo Mafia if it isn't done yet? Well, playtest material. It's also it's one to hype it up and two to just see, like, they want to hype it up to sell it to you, but also like other people are going to try it because it's Nerdarchy. So Nerdarchy's been around forever, and it's just one of those things. If they've made a TTRPG, right? So people are going to try it, and then the playtest material will just give you that that look into it, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, like, imagine if Garibay made a TTRPG. I know we would play that.
Yeah,
at the drop of a hat.
Actually, I would totally fucking find a way to legally obtain it. I promise. And and I would absolutely look into it. It'd be fucking hilarious.
You know, you'd be like fucking like Christian warriors and like fucking politicians and shit, and be all kinds of like weird.
Be this
fucking
very
weird,
strange thing. Anyway, okay, let's move on to a different topic that is totally not about crime.
Okay,
this, as I get it here, so Mystic Arts we've covered. Mystic Arts we've covered a couple of times. Got some cool ideas here and there. This is called Get Players to Roleplay by rendering scenes. I'm not sure what that means.
Hopefully we'll find out.
Yeah, well, so this has usually been a channel that I've relied upon to, like, explain things to me. So, so we will see what we've got.
Yeah.
If you struggle with how others believe in the secondary world, the world you're all playing in together, it may be an issue with your render. I work in video games, so when we talk about rendering, we're usually talking about exporting shots into distinct files. But in drawing, rendering is the process of taking something with flat colors and slowly adding shading and highlights until the picture becomes much more fleshed out and often more realistic. The same principle can be applied to role-playing games. You may be brilliant at outlining the basic setup of your scenes, but sometimes a little bit of rendering goes a long way into making your
Please tell me there's more than just draw scenes.
Welcome to Mystic Arts, where I never let you guys forget that I went to film school. My name is Dadi, I'm a professional writer and director, and I've been DMing for 10 years. When Matt Mercer made GM Tips videos back in 2016, he made one about getting players to roleplay, specifically about speaking in character. He had a lot to say about the value of you, the DM, leading the...
I think we covered that video, actually. I think I remember we covered that. Guy has a sexy voice? Yes.
But yeah, like, please tell me that there's going to be more than just use handouts for the scene.
No,
like,
of course,
shit.
of course. Yeah, no, that's not going to be.
I really hope, God.
experience. So if you want your players to roleplay, you need to roleplay first. If you want your players to be silly and do voices, you have to be silly and do voices first. If a DM wants their players to put themselves out there, they need to take the first steps and meet them halfway. If none of your players are speaking in character, I believe the primary reason is because they think it'll be silly if only one person does it, and they're afraid of embarrassing themselves or coming across as cheesy. So the natural solution, I think, is for the DM to be prepared to be the silliest person at the table. It's the only way nobody's worrying about themselves. You're already being so goofy. Do the biggest, most bombastic voice, contort your body, scowl, use props, gesticulate wildly, and then, very quickly, a player putting on a little voice or even just beginning to talk about how their character is different from them as a person will feel like a perfectly ordinary thing to do. And slowly, as you bounce off each other, you raise the tide. There is another trick though. This one has more to do with the environment and the mise en scène. My film school history teacher would be so proud. If you didn't go to film school or haven't watched those video essays from people who did, mise en scène is a French phrase that means what is put in a scene. Basically, it's the composition, set dressing, lighting, and actors. Everything that's in front of the camera. The whole scene as presented. You can sketch these scenes out quickly. You're at a tavern at night, there's people eating, and a burly barkeep. That's a mise en scène. A simple, unrendered sketch built on a basic foundation. Composition, set dressing, lighting, and you even cast an actor, and some extras. But then, how do you render the scene? You add details. Radical, I know. When drawing, these details are added in passes as you go along. In RPGs, this is done similarly, but with words. What's important though is that if you just start detailing everything endlessly, your players' eyes will glaze over as they clock out. You have to render details as you go. Slowly, as the scene goes on, it becomes higher and higher resolution. A better render with each pass. When you walk up to the bar, you see the barkeep's got a broken nose and lumps of matted hair sticking out his ears. Gross. But characterizing. When the players talk to him, you do the requisite silly voice. Dance, monkey, dance. And when the heroes buy a drink, he slides over the drink, but it snags on the dirty bar, getting stuck in what appears to be some sticky substance from many nights earlier. Now the bar has texture, and the tavern got a bit more character. It's a grungy pub.
Yeah, I mean, this is very much, yeah. I figured it was going to be something like this, actually, now that I understand what rendering is.
Very, very pleased that it is not what I was afraid of.
No, of course not, no.
Yeah, because when he was like, render the scene, and he was talking about drawing, I thought he meant actual drawing, but no, that was
no.
Wordplay.
Yes, exactly. It's giving you the basis of a practice, right?
Yes.
And I will say, something that I have absolutely been... it's something that does I am hindered by, I suppose, is my ability to do this as much, because sometimes I do forget to add details that would be important during scenes. I've done this in Vampire a few times, right? And thankfully, my lovely players, they all go, "Oh, would this be here?" And I go, "Yes!"
Yeah.
Because there are things that would be in the way, or they ask about something, and I go, "Oh, yeah, that would be a thing that's there that I should have said before."
Yeah, it's effectively like the human brain is very much a filing cabinet, where like the best example I can think of is name every single book you've ever read or every movie you've ever seen.
Sure.
That would be incredibly hard. Yeah. But if I start dropping titles, have you seen this? Yeah. Yes. Have you seen this? Yes. It's much easier to have that kind of prompt
Yes.
And so that's where you can kind of run into that issue where, you know, you have this scene, you know all the details that would be there, but it's hard for you to parse every single one of them. So it is very helpful to have that second brain be like, would this be here? Another example that's much more applicable to TTRPGs would be if you're designing a town or you are describing a town to your players and they start asking, what's this building? What's this building?
Yep.
What's this building? Instead of saying, is there a like a Bowyer Fletcher here? Then you could pretty much just easily say, yeah, that's here.
Yes, exactly.
It's way easier to call that to memory than to just spit everything out.
Yeah, for sure. And relying on your players to kind of like prompt you in those kinds of ways, and being flexible enough to add the things that do actually make sense is something that you should probably do as a DM just in general, because it helps with, as said before, it helps with world building with the players in mind, because they're kind of also helping to shape the world in that way, because they're like, oh yeah, there would probably be something like this, and you could go, oh yeah, there would be something like that, wouldn't there? And then it becomes more their world as well, right? And it does help with the investment in that world, in general.
And also, in some situations, it can also help with a bit of role play and getting your players into the scene. So, for example, let's say Cyberpunk or any other like modern kind of technological setting.
I like that.
Yeah, technological. Where let's say they're going into like a back alley and they're looking for a guy who's selling guns, and they find a guy who's like, you know, you find the fat black guy in Vampire the Masquerade.
Yes,
I forget his name. Anyway,
fuck. I'll get there.
Fat Albert, right? Or no, that's an actual. that's an actual
show.
Thing.
That's the show.
Yeah, that's the show. What the fuck was his name?
I
think he
Fat
still
Larry?
had the name. Yeah, it was Fat something.
I think it was Fat Larry. Hold on.
Yeah, he was like, I got a fucking body weight problem. I don't give a fuck.
And I don't give a fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
So when you have that scene,
it's Fat Larry. It's Fat Larry.
Okay. Well, I was halfway there. I got the fat part right.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, so you have that part where they're like, hey, I need to buy a gun. And, you know, you have the vendor go like, well, I sell a lot of shit. What do you want? That way you actually get your players thinking in terms of like what they're actually looking for, rather than having the shopkeep list out all the different weapons that he has. You basically just have him say, what are you looking for?
Yeah.
And then you can, you know, you kind of put the shopkeep in command of the situation as well, so you can kind of maybe like be a dick to your players and like make him, or you know what I mean, not actually be a dick to your players, but have the shopkeep be a dick to your players and like try to fleece them for a bit.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
And then that can lead to some more role play where they're like, oh man, I can get that shit across the street for like $10 less. Why should I buy from you? You know.
Then he starts espousing how his guns are actually the best oiled, and like the stuff over there is like all corporate manufactured. So
exactly. So like even that can be very, very helpful.
Yeah, totally. Gesticulate wildly sounds dirtier than it is, especially with that voice. Yeah,
right.
I hate how much this is good advice, even though it sounds like making silly noises for babies. Oh yeah, absolutely, but it is good. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, jingle the keys in front of their face. It works.
But no, I mean, he's totally right. Of just if the person who's quote unquote in charge, shows first that this is the way that we're gonna play the fucking game, then people will follow suit more so than not.
I mean, hell, I have a real life friend who plays other TTRPGs that she was fairly afraid of doing like voices and role play and stuff, and I basically told her, it's like, hey, you know, if you start doing it, it opens the door for everybody else. Yeah. If your DM isn't doing it and you want to do it, you want to do the voices and shit, do it, because once you start doing it, everybody else will be like, okay, this is a fine place to be a goof. And it worked. She did, and then everybody else started role-playing more.
Hell yeah.
Like, flat out, it worked.
Yeah. It's the monkey brain thing,
So,
right? Monkey see, monkey
It
do.
is. Mm-hmm.
The players
It just
pick up
takes
the
one
drink.
brave player or DM. Sorry, I didn't mean
Yeah,
to.
no, you're good. Yeah, absolutely.
And decide to find a place to sit down, you say, you'll look around and spot a nice corner table at one end of the common room, seemingly lit by a column of blue moonlight coming through the window. And now you've lit the scene. You don't have to do this endlessly all the time. Sometimes sketches are all we need. But when you want to draw your players in, add renders as you go along. This communicates to the players that you are invested in the atmosphere, and they'll feel like a part of the scene as you construct various parts of the overall mise en scène. Listen, if I had to learn that word, so do you. I spend a lot of time zooming in and out of scenes. I'll gloss over an hour, a day, a month, as I prepare to cut to the next fun bit. So, first I slowly zoom out and transition to talking mostly out of character, asking the players about their goals, their ambitions. We roll dice for downtime activities or whatever else they have planned, and then I zoom in to a specific moment to give everyone an opportunity to react in character. Say you're traveling, you're doing a hex crawl, and we're going through the map, hex by hex, rolling dice, navigating, foraging, random encounters, the works. That's all out of character. But I know I want a scene to come up because I just rolled max on the random encounter table for the last watch. First, I look at the mise en scène. Composition, set design, lighting, actors. Working backwards, that's actors. On the last watch were Octavia the Paladin and Silas the Barbarian. 2 actors. Lighting? Well, it's night, but it's raining. Set design, they're in the forest. Composition? I think we shoot this shot through the canopy. Then, I start narrating the scene. Silas and Octavia are on watch, sitting on one of the only dry boulders you could find during a constant, heavy downpour. You hear the rain pitter-pattering on the leaves and the tree bark in the elmwood forest, the sound filling the air around you. And then you hear a roar. Through the canopy, you see a massive red dragon soaring above, passing by, unaware of your presence. For now. Notice how I not only rendered the detail, but I made sure to engage the senses too. It's a common trick, but very effective. Describe sight, sound, and smell if you can think of it. It really helps.
That is another thing that I need to get better at is using senses better. I usually just describe what things look like a lot of the time.
Yeah.
It really does add to the, as he said before, texture as well as your other just your imagination in general, right? Of just saying what things smell like, what things sound like, all that kind of stuff, right? Because a lot of the times I'm very focused on what's going on at the very moment of like what they're looking at a lot of the time, right? I don't really think about like the sound of the creaking of boards, you know, or the house smelling like it was freshly cleaned, you know, there's like pine sol smell everywhere, you know, something like that. Yeah. But it would add to it a lot more, I feel. So yeah, it's just one of those things.
Stuff like that definitely helps when you have something like pre-written down, because sometimes it can be hard to remember that in a scene. So if you have like a monster that you have planned out like way in advance, like you've written it months in advance, you know how the thing smells. True. Like if smell is important, or if it's noticeable, you know, you have that planned out and maybe in like a flavor text, a little blurb.
Yeah, totally. Also, apologies, everybody. A lot of this is just listening to this because this is just good stuff.
Because it's good, like honestly,
this is good stuff, and like I like the presentation. Like the cuts away. Let's just talk about the presentation first off. Second, the actual video. You've got those excerpts that are in black and white, but also getting into other colors when he talks about them. That's nice. That gives me a little bit of that feel of what he's going for. So I'm like there with him when he's describing these things, right? The cuts away are also, if you notice, when he was cutting over to the figures for when he was talking about being silly, it was an orc that was crushing a squig with like a
the big top hat.
Yeah, top hat and like a little weird thing on the left of on the left hand, which was I think is just some kind of Zappa of some sort. And so it was a silly depiction of something, right? And then cutting over to the hourglass in front of the beholder, which was for time and kind of zooming out and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's all very, very good in communicating.
It helps that he's a filmmaker.
It does. And you can definitely tell that there is thought being put into the shots that are being presented, right? The cutaways are actually important, or at least not important, but they are adding to the points, or at least giving you something for reference to enforce the points, rather than I'm over here, I'm over here, I'm over here, I'm over here. You know, like
it's not like Zoomer editing.
Yeah.
Or I guess it's.
And that's been a thing for a very long time. It's not Zoomer, honestly.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say Zoomer editing anymore.
It's just jump cutting for whatever reason, you know?
Yeah.
And that's very distracting, but for this it's like, okay, all right, I see, you know? Okay.
Helps to build immersion. I always forget about smells. Maybe that's because I tend to think cinematically. There's no smell in movies, except smell-o-vision.
Scratch and sniff the matching set on the front of your smell-o-vision card. That's all you need for
God, that stuff. Man, where did all that go?
Yeah, right.
TV in 3D.
In screenwriting, we know that scenes need to be about something. Basically, there is a reason the audience is being made to watch that scene. Something has to change, something has to happen, or we need to understand something better. So, they tell us a scene has to be about something.
Yes.
All that.
Yeah, Mr. Pink is right. When it comes to screenwriting advice, there is a lot of it. And even the best advice will ruin your stories when applied.
I was going to say, it's absolutely not always the case, is the thing, right?
Yes.
Like, every quote-unquote rule, every quote-unquote piece of advice that you get about any sort of writing whatsoever, it can work.
Yes,
That's
they
the
are
important
exceptions
part.
to the rules. That's the thing.
Every
time.
It all depends upon the execution and the context, right? That's just how it is.
Too aggressively. Let's talk about that tipping scene in Reservoir Dogs. It's 4 minutes long, which is long for any scene, and it's about tipping. It has nothing to do with the story. It doesn't mean anything, nothing changes, and you know what? It's enthralling.
It's great. It's for so it does mean something. It means something for the characters. That's the thing.
Yes.
It is there to establish the character and what they think about something, and so you can draw from that more about that character and how they would think about other things. So
It doesn't really mean
don't put it in that way, I would say, but sure.
It's got good structure, an inciting incident, a midpoint, and a climax. It's all there. It's got no place being in the movie. We learn nothing.
I don't tip.
I mean, I guess we learned that Mr. Pink doesn't tip.
Yes.
I don't think every scene needs to be about something. You can have there be scenes where the players just exist. Give them an opportunity to be.
I was going to say, I don't like your framing, but I do agree with what you're saying. I'm very much not a fan of your framing, actually. Because learning about characters is one of those very important things.
Let them argue about tipping, or politics, or, since this is D&D, magic, gods. Which monster tastes the best?
Interestingly enough, I have an anecdote for this.
Okay.
When I was in a group and I was running my character Gimbal, wild magic sorcerer, who very much did not want to use his magic because it would kill people sometimes just randomly, because it was wild magic.
Skill issue, but anyway.
Exactly, dude. Yeah, you know. So he did a lot of talking, a lot of low-level magic, and a lot of positioning so that he could not be nearby people, so that he wouldn't kill them by accident again.
Out of quick curiosity, was he still useful in combat? Or?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I use Scorching Ray a fuck ton.
Oh, okay, that's good because I don't want to use magic. But you're a wild magic sorcerer. I was worried that it was
No. Yeah, he would still use it all the time that he needed to, but it was more about like thinking about the situation and the context so that he wouldn't like cause damage to people.
Yes.
Like he was managing his wild magic to make himself useful, but not like
dangerous.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, go on.
So yeah, so we were in a party and one of the players was a necromancer who his whole thing was like using the bodies of great heroes basically so that they could continue.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a cool concept, right? I really liked it as a concept, but I found that Gimbal did not like the idea of somebody's body being used that way. It became this scene of like him basically saying, what gives you the right to take somebody's body and utilize it in that way? Like, yes, they were a hero and everything, but why would you be given that right? You know? And it became this conversation that made the character start thinking about that question. Like, what does give him the right and everything like that?
Oh, you made the necromancer thing.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
And it was just it was this small, like maybe 2-minute kind of scene that just happened, where they were together and he was just like, I don't understand how you can basically play God like that. I don't understand like why you would do that, and ordain yourself that way. And it was just one of those things where after the fact, the player was like, yeah, actually, I think my character is just going to be really trying to figure that out now. Of like, he's still going to be doing the thing, but like, you know, it's just one of those things where
more
now it's just going to be, it's just going to be like in the back of his head and trying to like really understand the like what his purpose is in that, I guess.
And given the way that his MO is described, I take it that was kind of a chaotic good / chaotic neutral necromancer.
Chaotic good.
Yeah.
Well,
did he ever use like commune with dead?
No,
because interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
It was just one of those things where he just like did it.
Yeah, because my thought process would be like, yo, if I'm going to be a necromancer like that, I'm going to use commune with dead and be like, hey, I'm a necromancer, you're an ancient hero. What would you say to me, like utilizing your body to perform more great deeds in your name, you know?
Yeah. That is a way,
because some of them might actually be entirely down for that.
Oh yeah, 100%, exactly. But it's just one of those things where if you just don't think about it and you just assume, well, they were a hero in life, they should just be used in death to continue to do that.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, okay, you're kind of crossing a line there. That's
a bit nihilistic and spooky, but I do like that.
But
too.
like the intention is good, you know, and so it's like it was just a very interesting thing, right?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah, so
you had apparently some goated players in that game.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that he's gone now, but
yeah. But I mean,
Gimbal's still alive. He's out there touring. He's doing his thing. It's sick.
Nice. Yeah, be happy that it happened. Not
100%. Yeah, it is a wealth of experience. Honestly, and good stuff.
Oh, God damn it!
Texture does go a long way. Sometimes you take it for granted. Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Texture. I want to hear him say that word. Also, freshly cleaned. I did like it when he said "cut to the next bit." He did say texture. I think at one point.
Yeah, he did.
Alejo and Boo like the sexy voice as much as me. Yes. Absolutely. It's great. Shin just sounds ominous when he says those things. I guess sounding ominous will come as a consequence of keeping me, Char, and Entropy around. Fair enough. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
To eat. Mike and it's sauteed in butter, obviously.
You don't have any idea what you're talking about.
Not every scene in your game needs to be about adventuring. Not every scene needs to further the plot or introduce new lore or establish new NPCs. And no, I'm not talking about downtime either. Nobody's crafting or managing a minigame. I'm just talking about good old scenes. Space to let the players embody and develop their character's personality. morals, backstory, even their favorite color. The next
I think that's why.
Absolutely.
I think that's why we can't do one shots.
Yes.
I think that's
Honestly,
exactly.
yes.
I think that's exactly why we can't do one shots, because we just continuously do that every time. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
what we're doing.
Yeah, no, and like we never have the ability to just shut the fuck up and play the game.
Yeah,
we're just
exactly.
we're just not wired that way.
No, exactly. We're. Oh, you guys are going to go to the dungeon and stuff. You're in town right now, but the dungeon's over there. It's like a 10-minute walk. Yeah, but like, what if we go to the shopping?
Yeah, but I want to go shopping.
Well, like, what if
what's
we go
over at the
shopping
shop?
and like just talk to the shopkeep for the rest of the day?
Quietly malding in
Yeah,
the corner.
yeah, exactly. It's just, it's just how it happens, man. It's just how it happens.
time you've got a break in your active combat zone we call a dungeon or a wilderness adventure, stop to smell the flowers. Take a moment, spend a little bit of time rendering the details of a scene, because when you do that, you're inviting your players to exist in a moment, and you've given them something to comment on. By describing a beautiful vista, they might comment on the beauty. By describing the barkeep's ear hair, they might comment on the beauty.
Fucking gross.
Don't yuck their yum. Rendering details also gives the players something to hang their hat on. The more you render that common room of the bar, the more details you give the players. The boar's head above the entrance, the patterned windows with depictions of Dryad, the barkeep's toothless smile, the free ale night they do on Tuesdays. Every time you do this, the place becomes more and more real in the player's imagination, and they'll want to come back to it. Oh, we should discuss this over drinks at the Boar's Head. The whole table will use it as a way to hook themselves back into the game and invite themselves to roleplay. This is such a powerful tool. Obviously, rendering everything all the time will wear itself out. You want to pick your moments, and also pick your locations. Most taverns can be sketches, but the Boar's Head, the one your players like the most, that one you'll render. And
I think it's very important to absolutely like put this forward as a concept, right? You like don't do it for everything. Just
Yes, do not do it for everything.
You'll-
Everything in moderation, except
exactly. Exactly.
moderation. Do that all the time.
Yeah, moderate all the time, every day.
Yes.
But yes, it's just, you don't want to get burnt out with that stuff. You don't want to over-explain. You don't want them, like you said before, don't get them yawning because you're just going into detail about every little thing, you know?
Yeah.
You
Do it with things that the players like and they spend a lot of time in. If they have like
Yeah.
a job or if all the players work for the same place or they routinely go to the same place,
Yep.
do it for things like that.
Do it for important scenes, do it for important people, just like everything that actually will maintain in some way, and something that you want to give them more of a nudge towards remembering, right?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like one of the places where I did it, and probably I didn't do it enough, but I think I did it at least, somewhat enough, was the Iron Tower in Dis.
Yeah.
Where, like, describing all those floors and the different, like, offices and how the people, like, actually moved about in it, how it was being constantly watched by fucking high-level devils up in the rafters and shit, or rafters, quote-unquote, and how, like, Dis himself, like, operated within his own, like, space in the tower.
Yep, all the banners
How doors
and
would
stuff.
open, and the doors would open to different rooms and shit, and... I kind of made that place really weird and mysterious and kind of extra dimensionally type shit.
Yeah, it was one of
feel
those.
Like I made that interesting enough.
Yeah, it was one of those places where I understood what it was, I understood where I was, and I understood that I didn't want to know more about it in a way. You know?
Yeah.
Because if I was in one of those rooms, there was a problem, you know?
Yes, it's kind of like the SCP Foundation. In that feel.
Yeah, a
Where,
little
like,
bit.
You know where you are, and you don't really want to go down the wrong hallway.
Exactly. So yeah, I think you did a good job with that for sure.
Yeah, I think so. Especially when it got to specifically describing the areas where you were encountering and interacting with Dispotter himself.
Yeah.
just like describing the office. He's got like a big fucking rug. There's
Yeah.
like the fucking window overlooking the infinite city and shit.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
that was so cool.
Yeah, I liked that.
Yeah.
That was fun. Good times.
It was good times. It's crazy.
I
Man.
can't wait to do Cthulhu in the future, man. I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, dude. I am excited too.
Yeah.
Anyway. That's what bugs me. People get upset about plot being advanced every minute. It's okay to have character moments that don't move forward too much. Yes. Agreed. It's just, it's one of those
There are too
things.
many people that tell you to just go as fast as you can.
Mm-hmm.
They treat the hobby like it's competing for, attention when everybody has sat down and has dedicated time to it. Like, it's okay to go slow sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Most of the time, actually.
Yeah, honestly, yes.
Just relax.
But it's hard.
Calm the fuck down.
I gotta remember that I have work in the morning and next Tuesday and all this shit.
Yeah.
The plot being advanced every minute was one of the problems with the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Well, every 3 minutes, apparently. Dude, I'm not gonna... I don't care. I haven't watched the Mario movie. I'm not gonna watch Super Mario. I'm gonna let those fucking things ride, alright?
I played the game. I'm good.
Exactly, right? Like, I'd rather just play the games.
I know the fucking... Dude, Rosalina is in it for like 15 fucking minutes.
Yeah, it's true.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I know.
How do you do that?
It's fine, Like,
I got a better story out of the little storybooks that she reads the video game. That shit made me tear up.
It's good stuff.
That was such a beautiful story.
Yeah, it was good.
I adored that.
Yeah, totally. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
If your players fall in love with one of your sketches, then continue rendering it as it becomes more and more real to everybody. And that's where we'll pick it up next time. Thanks so much for watching this video. Me and my girlfriend make these videos together, both of us writing and editing, and it's been so much fun reading your guys' comments and watching the channel take off. It's been incredible. So, we wanted to ask that if you found this video useful, let us know in the comments or by hitting the like button. If you want to see more videos like this one, then consider subscribing and hitting the bell to be notified when we release new videos. Until next time, keep studying the mystic arts.
Nice.
Very good.
Very cool. Oh, jeez. It started doing the... What did it start doing?
Oh,
the
God.
Playlist? Okay. Well, that's annoying.
Chat, you can ignore that. We were playing Serious Sam 2, and the version of the game that we were playing did not have the game's cutscenes, so we had to pull up a playlist of all those. So we were just watching them between levels. Highly recommend you check that out, though. It's very fun.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Good time.
I like that guy. Yes, same. Every time that we cover him, it's pretty interesting. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I do actually genuinely really like the filmmaking rules that he brings in, because they do really mesh well with D&D.
Absolutely.
Type of D&D.
Yeah, no, for sure. We watched it so you don't have to. There are some lessons that can be taken, especially in what not to do. Oh, for Super Mario Galaxy? Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah, so I do want crime.
Yes, we want crime.
I want crime, so I want something that'll give me...
You know what we ought to do? Why don't you look up a Blades in the Dark video? That's all about crime.
Ooh, true. Okay,
and we like Blades in the Dark.
Yeah, we do. Blades...
Or at least we liked it the last time we looked at it.
Dark. Yeah. I think Blades in the Dark is sick.
Yeah, it's very neat.
Let's see if there's something that I can get really quick.
I know there's a Z Bashu video on Blades in the Dark where he talks about stuff. You know what? Do that one. And he brings up mechanics and shit. It's not just a little story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I want something that's specifically just doing something with setting up criminals, really. because it's just
I
yeah,
see.
because it's more just because that was what I was promised, you know,
Yeah.
of like trying to create a world, or I'm sorry, create criminals in a way that is compelling, right?
Mhm.
And that's not what I got.
Yeah.
Let me see. Compelling crime. Let's go with that. A How to Be the Great GM video.
Oh, okay.
5 things to consider when adding criminal organizations to your RPG. There we
Okay.
go.
That sounds good.
Okay.
And he's had some bad takes, but he has never really let us down in terms of like video composition and content.
Exactly. Okay, cool. Guy, we miss you.
Is he still doing stuff, or is he basically just
Criminal
off YouTube completely?
He's still doing stuff on different channels, and that channel that he like How to Be a Great GM is mostly actual play stuff now.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
good
no,
to
he's
hear.
doing
He
stuff
just
that he
walked
wants to
away fully.
do, so I'm glad for him.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, for sure. So, here we go. This is 5 things to consider when adding criminal organizations in your RPG. GM tips. How to be a great GM.
Organizations, how do you make them, how do you work with them, and how do you make your players want to either join them or avoid them? This is how.
Cool. Yeah. 4 years ago this video.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode on how to be a
We
great
didn't get the
GM. My
super
name
loud intro.
Yeah, it's good.
That's nice.
is Guy, and we're going to be looking at criminal organizations in the underworld, all that kind of wonderful dark stuff that goes on in real life as well, of course, in our fantasy and science fiction spaces. Because it is July, the month of science fiction, we are going to be talking in terms of our examples, mainly in sci-fi, but it's applicable to both fantasy and sci-fi and modern and Cthulhu and mysteries, and you pick it, it doesn't matter. The idea is still the same. So why did this criminal organization start?
Thank you. Yes, exactly. The function. Yes.
Yeah, right?
God damn it.
Was it in response to discovering that there was an easy way of making money on the black market? Was it through slave trafficking? Was it by accident that the original owner of this crime organization happened to offer protection to everybody on the street that they lived on? And that protection got them some money. But because they were so good at providing protection, there was nothing to protect against, and then the population stopped paying, and then you had to go and remind them that they needed to continue paying for protection, but it was no longer against the outside threat, but now against you. You have to understand where your criminal organization came from. This could be an ancient organization, it could be a conspiracy group that have got together and have become an organization. Understanding how it started and why it started will then allow you to move forward in terms of what are its goals. That is the next step, is what are the goals of the organization. They started because of this, but now they're trying to achieve that. Very often criminal organizations' goal is to make as much money as possible, but that doesn't really help you as a GM. It's not going to give you much guidance. Very few criminal organizations are started to spread love all over the world. They just don't do that.
Well, I mean, let's be fair.
Unless they're a cult.
I was going to say, yeah, you could be a cult, or you could be something that is trying to give you that facade, right? They do contribute to charities. They do set up, like, walks for cancer, like, all that kind of stuff to make their public image something that's very good. And then once they actually get investigated by your players or potentially whatever, you can actually see the seedy underbelly of which it is then founded upon, right? It is just, it's one of those things to, it's not really a subversion, really, because that's something that you can, like, fucking Umbrella, right?
Yes.
Fucking Umbrella exists, and they're trying to save the world, but they're actually creating these horrible bioweapons that are being sent out and used to kill so many fucking people. It's crazy.
Yeah. They're really good at it.
They're super good at it. So yeah, it's just it could be part of the organization's face.
Yes.
Usually it's money or taking over the world, depending on the type of criminal organization that you're creating. So when
And it could be more simple than that, of just like they want to just expand their influence. They don't necessarily want to take over the world. They just want to be in charge of this town. They want to be in charge of this block, even. Like they don't have to have visions of grandeur, right? And obviously you can make one that does have that vision of grandeur at the end, who might at some point be against those ones that don't have that, and then maybe there could be conflict there that you could be like, hey, this criminal organization is actually like not as bad, maybe we should just help them out instead of the biggin that just wants to take over everything, you know?
Enemy of my enemy.
Exactly. You could then have that kind of underworld ally as part of your campaign that you can call upon because there is a worse evil, you know? Better the devil you know. All that kind of stuff.
You then look at what is their current goal. Their goals should be very physical, their goals should be very practical, and their goals should be fairly immediate. And those goals should be things that the players can stop. The reason for it, of course, is if the players stop the organization, the evil organization, from committing their or reaching their goal, the organization is going to focus on the players, which is what you want. If you are creating criminal organizations in your world that the players will never encounter and will never have any interaction with, well done, you're playing with yourself, and you're not actually playing in the game that you are created and are responsible for.
Well, I mean, so for those ones, obviously, it could be something that is a more influential thing overall, right? Like it is making it so that prices go up in their part of the city or something, you know? Like they can never really do anything about it, but they can
At least
feel
not yet.
Yeah, exactly. They can feel the effects of it. And it could be that stepping stone of like what they're doing now is supposed to help prepare them for potentially, if they want to, dealing with that bigger organization in the future, right?
Exactly.
Because your campaign can stop at some point, but there could always be more, you know?
Yes.
So it's just it could just be something that you are just putting in the background that you could flesh out later as well.
So your players have to have some kind of reason for interacting with this criminal organization, and you need to make sure that the players find out about it. The easiest way is the criminal organization has a goal of smuggling 500 kilotons of, let's say, nitite, which is a particular type of drug that one of the alien species makes, but it's illegal on this particular planet. They're trying to smuggle this nitrite into the planet. And the PCs just happen to be aboard the ship that contains the nitrite that's being transported, or the PCs interrupt the gang because the PCs are following something else. Nonetheless, the PCs end up with the nitrite. Well, because you know what your organization's goal is, they just want to get the nitrite back. So that means hunting down the PCs, trying to find out where the nitrite is before they kill the PCs. Obviously, they're going to kill the PCs. That's usually what happens when you interrupt giant criminal organizations. You know too much. So that's the process it's going to go through. Now, do you see, by just creating a single goal for your organization, we haven't done a lot of work here. We have an adventure automatically. The PCs need to find out about the organization. So that's going to be an adventure. Well done for you. That adventure suddenly spurns out into a whole bunch of little adventures because the PCs run away from the criminal organization. And then what? Does the criminal organization go, oh, well, we'll just write it off this year and we'll deduct it from our taxes? No, they don't give up. They're going to keep going. And possibly...
What if they do? What does that
Yeah, that would
say?
be very funny.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. Yeah, it could be something of like, well...
Shit. Okay, fine.
I guess, well, I guess I'll just tell the boss that it didn't work out, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, the ship blew up. Sorry. Damn it. All right.
Damn
well, let's get another one.
Okay. Well, it'll take us another
That'd
year
be
and a
very
half.
funny. Those kinds of like meme plot, like the fucking, like it's a whole fucking like that would actually be a subversion.
Yeah,
where,
it would.
You know,
honestly.
you come into all this shit, it's like, oh shit, someone's gonna want this back. Turns out that they just were, and then they're like, oh, they just gave up.
Yeah,
like immediately.
It was actually a really up and coming criminal organization that they were really relying on this one job to work so they could keep going. And then they had
spent all their fucking
Yeah.
money on it.
They had to disband immediately because you
That
fucked
would
it
be
up.
Oh god.
They just later
And then,
down the
you know what
line.
you can do. Like that's fucking funny, but you can also have it be like, hey, you know, you like go to the next planet with this nitrite, and then all of a sudden other criminals are like, hey, we heard you have that. We'd like that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
please."
exactly. Yeah, totally. But,
Yeah.
but like you just have to go to the prison at some point, and then like you see this gang of people that are just in cells, and they're like, hey, wait a minute. Hey, wait, you're the guy.
You're the guy.
You fucked it all up for us, dude. They're just
sorry, I don't even know who you are.
you made it so that I can't pay for anything. Yeah, I'm sorry, you're a criminal? I don't know what am I supposed to...
Sounds like you deserve it.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a meanie.
No, man.
Look, it might have
nah.
been important to you, but to me, it was a Tuesday.
Exactly. Yeah, Guy's a good choice. He won't necessarily be the person that doesn't give you anything to pause and object to. That is also true. Yes.
Yeah.
I tend to care more about characters and world building rather than plot. A cool world and characters will get my attention faster than an A to B plot. Oh, absolutely. That's the thing. Any kind of media can be absolutely just the characters can just carry it on their back. Like legitimately, even if the actual thing is shit, the characters can be good still. That is absolutely something. Because if I don't connect to the characters, I don't really care about the story they take part in, if that makes sense. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That makes perfect sense.
I don't get into a lot of horror because all the effort goes into the scary thing, and I don't care about the main characters. Fair.
Fair enough. Yeah, modern stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. This is reminding me of those riflemen you bankrupted in Mech Warrior.
God damn it. Yeah. That was very funny. Fuck, I forgot all about that. Hansen's Rough Riders.
Yeah, the Rough Riders.
Yep. Very good. That was so fucking funny.
It really was. Good times.
Obsess over the PCs. So figure out what the goals are of this particular organization, maybe figure out 2 or 3, sit back and look at the ones which promise the most interesting adventure. If it's smuggling nitrite, that's okay, but what if it's smuggling the eggs of the brood mother who happens to be on a secluded planet, smuggling her eggs into the planet, so that as far as the basic operations go, they get to sell the eggs to the highest bidder, but as far as the brood mother is concerned, the eggs will hatch, consume everybody, and then take over the planet. Mwahaha. It's a giant adventure. Just
when you said smuggling brood mother eggs onto the planet, for whatever reason, my brain immediately shot straight to the fucking Swarm episode of Futurama.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Oh, that's great.
That would be very funny too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're stealing these alien eggs. We need them on the planet because we're gonna make a ton of money from it. Turns out they're like fucking aliens that produce like a food. Or something.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
A food or a drink that they just it's just like a hot commodity.
Yeah, for sure.
Funny.
Yeah.
Waiting to happen, the PCs can get involved. So we then have to ask the question, why has this criminal organization not been stopped? How is it that they manage to survive? Oftentimes
if they're
this is a very good one.
Somehow being helped by the law in whatever way, or if they're able to be undetected by the law in whatever way, like what is their operation so that they can be undetected, right?
Yeah, this is another good one for lots and lots of RPGs. Almost every RPG that has an actual villain.
Yeah, totally.
This is a really important question to ask, because while the players may be the main characters of the story, you have to ask yourself why the villain has never been stopped by anybody else.
Exactly.
Because it absolutely could have been.
Yeah, totally.
Through bribing of officials. That's the stock standard trade. I know that certainly works. Having come from a country where bribery is unfortunately a way of life, you go, well, I'll just bribe you to look the other way. If that's the case, then that's fine. If the PCs make an expose on the whole thing and bring everything to light, they can topple an entire chain of bribery and corruption and make the world a better place. Alternatively, maybe the organization has some blackmail over the mayor or the president of the planet, and that is what is allowing them to be in that space.
The
or perhaps
president.
The planet benefits.
Yeah, it's the the
Oh,
president
no, it was
of
the mega
space.
president. That was it.
Yeah.
Yes, the
Yeah.
president of space.
benefits in some small way from the criminal activities, and as a result, they're tolerated. A classic sci-fi example of this, by the way, is Quark from Deep Space Nine. Star Trek Deep Space Nine. He was known to have illegal activities and to do things outside of the realm of what the ruling government was accepting of. But they allowed him to do it because they knew that they could lean on him in times of crises, and he would be able to help them do things that they wouldn't normally have been able to done.
Quark is a great character. Oh my goodness. Yeah, absolutely.
So it's from Deep Space Nine?
Yeah, Deep Space Nine. Mm-hmm.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's the one that is
it?
about the actual planet station, Deep Space Nine.
Okay.
And it's less the traipsing across the universe and a lot more character
More
intrigue.
a single space station.
Yeah, there's a lot more intrigue and a bunch of other things that are going on. I honestly have only watched a bit of the first season, and I really am kicking myself every day because it gets better from that, and already it's pretty fucking good. So
Is it? I take it it's complete. I've heard that name for a long time.
Yeah. It's been complete for a very long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
To do. So it's something that you can look at. It's a much more interesting dynamic than just blackmail. But again, not every criminal organization has to be in that way.
I was going to say, it is really, it's always interesting to me, at least, to have those types of organizations inside of the game that you can interact with that are those better for the community rather than completely detrimental, you know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they do some shit that isn't so good. Don't get me wrong. Like, fucking in the Dresden Files book series, there is a organization run by Gentleman Johnny Marcone. Who he has a code, right? He has his code, his territory, and he's like incredibly good at being a criminal because he is beneficial to the city.
Yeah. Oh, okay. The whole city. Okay.
Like, yeah, he's in Chicago specifically, and
damn. Okay.
And he is actually like he's good at like keeping things organized. And so, like, yeah, there's crime and shit, but it is actually like organized in a way.
It is legitimately organized crime.
Yeah, and when you break off from that, he fucking gets you.
I see.
It's a whole thing, and then there's way more stuff later on that happens in the series that is, like, way cool that he does specifically that also helps benefit, like, the magical side, even though he is just a human. He's very impressive in what he does. It's fucking awesome.
Okay, cool.
I would absolutely... For those of you who's never fucking read any of the Dresden Files, I would highly recommend them. Okay? My favorite book series. Thank you.
He likes them.
I do. DS9 is pretty great. I could criticize a few things, but it is pretty great. Oh yeah, everything has flaws, obviously. But overall, the like, I could tell you fucking wow. Next Generation has quite a few episodes that are just like, But overall, the series is great.
Yeah, that's cool.
Some can just be using bribery and the like. The final question that you need to ask is, what is the group willing to do in order to achieve their goals? So the Allied Knitting Society of old women intent on destroying the world, they are not willing to actually destroy the world if it requires them to miss their tea time. they might actually have to stop at that point and then wait for T to finish and then go on about their will.
I think, yeah, absolutely. You should have your villainous organization, whatever, have some sort of code. Absolutely.
Yes.
Like, it helps so much with what they do and what they're, like, supposed to be doing.
It helps establish the character of the entire organization.
Exactly. And then you have
And it also, if you have, sorry, I didn't mean to cut
No,
you
you're good,
off.
you're good.
If you have that, if you have certain limitations on your organization, and it's the one that you would kind of be okay with your players joining, it helps create, mitigate some friction in a player character potentially joining them, because, you know, if you have a criminal organization that, like, as you can see on the little card down there, murder, extortion, child labor, murder of children.
Yeah.
If you have the criminal organization be these guys that, like, sacrifice children, that might not be something the player character, that might be a non-starter, effectively. But if they have some sort of code where they're like, okay, we don't do this, we don't do this, we do that, they could much more easily justify joining it.
And it's
if that's what you want the characters to go for.
Yeah, exactly. And it's to play into that whole, like, what we were talking about before with, like, the prohibition and, like, selling alcohol and drugs
The
thing.
prohibition. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the prohibition. Yeah, exactly.
My amazing idea.
Yeah, for sure. And having those sources inside that are, quote unquote, like, rotting away at the infrastructure of this organization because they're doing things outside of the code. Right?
Yes.
And are you one to uphold that? Are you one to go against it and potentially start a new organization from the ashes of this organization? You know, like, try to make it so that you can be a part, like, you can strong arm people and you can do things better and all this kind of stuff, right? Like, it's ripe for that kind of potential because you've already established something that could be a code that could be broken. And that automatically gives you shit to do.
I think one other thing that I don't know how we haven't mentioned it, but not only can you have criminal organizations where they're kind of secular or insular or whatever, but you can absolutely have a criminal organization inside another good organization.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think there's any better example than just Dirty Cops.
Yeah, for sure.
That could be an incredible campaign idea where you're playing as, like, internal affairs or whatever. And you're, like, going after dirty cops, and so now you're having to deal with all these, like, a much more fragile but also simultaneously strong web of allegiances and shit.
Yeah.
That can also be crazy.
And it can lead to a whole bunch of things like, oh, well, this one cop has put away so many guys, but he keeps like fabricating the evidence. And we don't want those guys to get out because they will continue to do shit that is bad for everyone, just objectively speaking.
He is putting away criminals. There's no question about their guilt, but he's doing it the wrong way, and they could eventually be set free as a result.
Exactly.
So he needs to be stopped,
so
unfortunately.
It's one of those things, but it's one of those things where you then get the question, do you stop him?
Yes.
Right? And that becomes its own source of tension because you have those things of like, well, now we know about this. What are we supposed to do with this information if it results in a greater evil for society?
So now you have a whole new set of questions and shit. So don't forget about having a criminal organization in and amongst good guys.
Yeah, for sure. There's kind of it's a little bit into Delta Green as well, where Delta Green itself it has has a couple of facets that are people that were from the old way and then people from the new way, and they're not always in line because the old way is a little bit more cowboy. And
a little more Wild West.
Exactly, but the new way is like not as much. It's more so to like the old way would use things that they find, right? Like potentially,
yes,
actually utilize what they find for the betterment of people, potentially, or at least that's what they want.
Yeah, but that's a slippery slope.
Exactly, and then you have the new way, which is like, oh, but yeah, that is a slippery slope. We should always get rid of it, always destroy it. And then you have people on the inside of both that are doing things the right way, the wrong way, the way that they have to do because of whatever is going on. Like those tough decisions that are always being made, but the organization is always there for the greater good of humanity. Right? So how do you achieve the greater good at that point?
Yes.
You know? It's cool
By
stuff.
playing the Tau. That's how.
True. For one thing, Quark gets away with a lot. Yes, true. He does. I don't know what a non-secular criminal organization would be, but it probably involves druids. True.
Yes. Sorry.
Okay, Cultist 2. My joke didn't survive the immediate Delta Green mention. Yes, also true. Yes.
That's a ridiculous example, of course, but you do have to decide, is the criminal organization willing to burn itself to apprehend the PCs or to prevent the PCs from doing whatever it is that they're doing, or are they simply going to go, well, we can only go so far and no further? It becomes a lot more interesting when your criminal organizations have limits where they will not cross a limit. Maybe they won't kill children. Maybe they won't smuggle human beings.
Man, it's crazy when we talk about things and then he talks about them in the same video. That's crazy.
Well, he also had that literally on the card.
I know.
Left,
I know. It's just one of those things.
Yeah.
Maybe they will only smuggle certain alien groups. Maybe they won't smuggle aliens. Maybe they won't steal food. Maybe they... Robin Hood is a classic example. Up until he was exonerated by the return of King Richard, he was a criminal organization robbing from people and dispersing it to the poor.
True.
That kind of somehow made it okay that he was still committing a major crime. It doesn't matter because he was committing it against an evil group. So maybe he's not an evil organization. Who knows? His actions led to evil. Anyway, we're not going to go into that. We're just going to, for now, say, well, what would they be willing to do and what would they not be willing to do? And once you understand that, then that's okay. Now, what do you do when your players decide, well, this criminal organization that you have now created using the questions I have
what if they
given
join it? There you go.
I actually think that's quite cool. And we could advance quite a lot if we joined the intergalactic smuggling ring, smuggling the Queen's eggs all over the galaxy. It's very lucrative. There's nothing wrong with that. But what you have to do is then figure out, and again, this is going back to the questions that you've just answered, what is the organization willing to do to further its aims? If it is willing to slaughter an entire planet, you have to make sure that when your PCs join that organization, the very first mission that they have to go on for that organization is the annihilation of an entire planet.
Yeah.
Let them think as to whether they want to be part of this organization or not. Far too often we tend to romanticize the criminal organizations, making it feel like the players are the good guys trying to work through the bad guys. That can work. I beg your pardon.
Whoa. But yeah, no, it's one of those things of making sure that you also represent them in a way that they should be represented, right? Because they're like, it is a criminal organization. They will be doing things that are wrong.
Yes, they are bad. Like,
exactly.
Think about pirates. Pirates are incredibly romanticized.
Yes.
They were bastards.
Absolutely. Yes.
Only incredibly rare pirates were actually even remotely okay.
Yeah, and it is one of those things of, like, I get that we want to have the fantasy element, right? It is supposed to be something that you're enjoying and such, right? But having those kinds of outcomes that are not as enjoyable, quote unquote, if you want that realism, you need to have it there. Right?
Yes.
Because obviously we can do it in a goofy, we're just stealing whatever the fuck, and we're the Shadow Money Gang, and we're fucking doing crimes, right?
Like Payday level
Exactly. Like, it can be goofy if you want that tone, but if you want something that is more balanced and more realistic, absolutely have it so that it is like what they are doing is facilitating something that is abhorrent in some way, right? Might not necessarily be the most evil thing in the world, but it is something that is going to hurt somebody in some way.
Yes, it is still bad in some respect.
Yeah.
That can work, but it's very trite, it's very forced, and it doesn't feel to me to be very real. If you want your criminal organization to be truly evil and dastardly, show the players just how truly evil and dastardly they will have to be in order to be part of it. Criminal organizations can be a lot of fun to add into your worlds. Make sure that they're kind of there and the players can interact with them. If the players are not being involved in their schemes, there's no point in having the criminal organization in the first place, unless it's just background color, in which case expect your players to want to engage with that background color anyway, so you have to develop it, so you might as well do it in the first place. That's it from me. Your task this week is to create...
Oh my god, you gave homework back then? Gee.
A criminal organization. Figure out what they're doing. Now, it could be money laundering, it could be smuggling, it could be trafficking, it could be drug dealing, it could be... Figure out what your criminal organization is doing, answer those questions, and then just give us a little write-up in the comment section down below so we can share and, well, take each other's criminal organizations and import them into our own worlds.
True.
Because, well,
make shit so we can steal it.
Exactly. That's what we all do.
It is true, yes.
Easier and gives us inspiration. Why not? So I suggest, well, I ask that if you like this video or if you want to subscribe to this video, let us know in the comments down below what your criminal organization what your criminal organization is all about. Until next time, I have some sponsors whom you might want to check out. This
Okay.
Yeah, we're
It's
good.
2 minutes of sponsors. I think we're okay.
That's a lot. Damn.
Yeah. I guess I assume it's looks like Bring It On.
Movie?
No, I think it's
Didn't expect that.
Yeah. Oh, Dungeon Fog as well. There you go. Okay. If you really want to look into those, it's gonna be in the description. I gotta add it, but yeah. See, that's the thing. That was 10 minutes. That was 10 minutes, and that was engaging and interesting, and like actually delved into what the topic was.
It was actually thought-provoking.
Whoa, crazy! See,
Crazy.
It's stuff like that where I'm like, yeah, you can do 10-minute videos. It's a thing. Just do it.
It's completely doable. It's just, you kind of have to be focused and, like do something useful.
Yeah, exactly. Robin Hood is an example of chaotic and evil not being the same axis, though evil pirates are more realistic. Yes. And yes,
absolutely. I mean, I forget what his name was. He was literally known as the Gentleman Pirate in real life.
Yes. I know who you're talking about.
Oh, it was started with a B. Bonnet. Steed Bonnet.
Yeah,
that was his name. Yeah, and he was. He taught his crew how to read, and they didn't kill people, or at least they tried not to kill people. Like, they gave them the chance to surrender, and if they did, they would just took their shit and left.
Yes. That's right.
And he was like a noble with a family and shit. And he's like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm being a pirate. And he did it. It's fucking, it's funny. He's like absolute Giga Chad.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
It's super cool.
Yeah.
Obviously he was still, being a pirate, but
yeah, he's still a pirate.
He
but
wasn't
he was,
doing
the
the
least
worst
bastardly
shit.
of the pirate. Yeah.
Oh shit, he gave us homework? I wasn't even going to class. I'm so late.
Fucking run with that bread in your lips.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking get going.
Oh my god. He spelled organizations with an S. What? That's not how it's spelled.
That's what it's spelled with a Z.
Or is it British English?
Yeah,
I don't actually know, but
it could be.
Anyway,
organization.
Yeah, maybe, or maybe it's just I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm currently adding it to the description to be a video because this is the thing. A lot of the times when we cover guys' videos, no, regardless of if it's a good video or a bad video, I would share it.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, right? Because
it's usually not that bad.
It's usually not that bad. That's true.
It's usually like one take that we're like,
Yeah, usually. There have been a couple of times where it's been like, I don't know about that.
yeah.
But it's one of those things again of, and I keep saying that, he is going to be one of those creators that I'm going to miss doing this kind of content, you know? Because there is so much to gain from the way that his mind works, I guess.
Yes.
And if it's just because if it is just we're gonna keep going over the same thing over and over again, you know, in terms of topics and stuff, I can understand that could be something that's like not as ideal, I guess. But like I said before, back when we first learned about him not doing this kind of stuff anymore, him redoing his videos and stuff, he would add, you know, his current perspective, you know, like the experience that he's had now after playing so many things, and it would still be valuable. So
yeah,
I don't know. Really, Captain Morgan did same-sex marriages on his ship. That's interesting.
Huh. I didn't know that.
That's cool. Organization with an S is British. Okay, there you go. Gotcha. All right.
Do we want to do that quick little Z-Bashu video, or do we want to be done?
No, I think we're good. I think we got it. If you want to go look at Z-Bashu anytime, anybody go look at Z-Bashu. He always does good stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I haven't watched a Z-Bashu video for fucking ever, I'll be honest.
I just wish he would come out with more episodes of The Cold Road. It's like a play that he's done, and it's like really good.
Really? Okay, cool.
Yeah. Huh. He's got about 4 videos. It's not finished. It takes him about a year to make one.
Oh, fair enough. Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's very sad.
Well, yeah, then I guess it is a good point to say, hey, if you want to,
leave.
You can get the fuck out of here. That's up to you.
Yeah, and I will, because
right.
I want to try to get some dinner in me before it's too late.
Yeah, I also need to do that.
Yeah.
I've been asleep most of the day, I'll be honest.
And so I know that we're not
we're not
playing
doing Vampire tomorrow, so
yeah. Do you want to do anything that night or no?
We can absolutely try to do something. Yeah.
Okay. We could do more Abiotic Factor if you want. I don't know if you want to do more Serious Sam immediately after. Granted, it is way easier to do.
I was gonna say it really depends, but I wouldn't mind.
Okay.
So
I guess we'll see how we feel tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, I'm going to get out of here, and I'll see you next time I see you.
All right. See you later, man.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Okay. Older spelling the British English still uses? Okay, gotcha. Anyway, we're going to move on to comments, everybody. And then we will be good for the evening. So, here we go. First up, and I had to do this in this way because I responded to a comment. So first up, we've got Unit Rico here, saying on last week's episode, or last episode, at 1 hour 3 minutes 6 seconds, I clapped when the video man showed a picture of my favorite band. In all seriousness, I tend to dislike that kind of gag, but I'll make an exception this time. It's fair enough. Yeah, I clapped. Anyway, thank you for the comment. Then we had The Horror, who said, got recommended this video, 15 minutes in, and I'm already marveling how you could have filled 3 hours talking about 4E when one of you has not played it, the other played it a long time ago, and neither of you has read it recently. You open up not even remembering healing surges or how they work, the core attrition mechanic of the game. It's like discussing 5e without knowing how spell slots work. Maybe just try playing it. It will take you a couple hours to read the rules. And I said, oh, nice to see a new face. As for research, it is true that we came in ill-prepared. It has been quite a while since we have read any books, and we do plan on playing it together at some point. Mostly, we compare to 5e when we compared to 5e and went off of what the video gave us to talk about, and honestly, we rarely see videos of 4e good or an attempt at explaining 4e's downfall. So we did suffer in preparedness, and thankfully, we were corrected by our live chat and looking things up. The next time we do cover 4e, I plan on having another read-through of the Player's Handbook at the very least, if not all 3 of the main sources. Regardless, thanks for checking us out anyway. So yeah, I just wanted to say, thank you, The Horror, for keeping us honest, of course. Because, yeah, I mean, it is one of those things where we were forgetting a lot of stuff about 4e, and it has been quite a while since any of us have read it at all. / played it. So, but I don't think that we went into anything that was, something that we misremembered to such a degree. In fact, even in the videos that we covered, or the video that we covered that was about mechanics, the person went into, healing surges and such. So even if we had it wrong, from the beginning, we were going to be corrected anyway, which is good. But obviously, our preparation was a little lackluster, so I can understand that. And I apologize for that, but it is just one of those things where we're just kind of covering stuff when we cover it. So, in the future, at least for 4E, hopefully we'll have a little bit more knowledge, right? But whatever. Well, you probably don't have to know every system before you cover videos on them. Depends on how exploratory you're being, I guess. Yes, that's the other thing. I agree with you on that. We aren't necessarily we aren't putting ourselves forward as, like, the experts on it, obviously. Neither would I want to be called an expert in anything. I'm not an expert. I just know things. But mostly what we did was go over the points given and, like, used them as the springboard for conversation rather than going into a deep dive of everything. Like, we did go into a couple of things and looked into rules here and there. In fact, I did bring up the PDF to look into word choice and used it as an example. And, like, maybe this person actually did watch all of it. Maybe they only watched the first 15 minutes. I don't know. It's fine either way. So I don't really know what to say other than, yeah, what I said. Then we have Timothy with lore. Hello, bros, new lore. Almost ready to go back to the dragon's lair. Leroy was cleaning up his his quickly set up workstation. I understand. After spending the last 2 days trying to free Harden the Goblin from the stone, he was missing one ingredient. About 30 feet away, Woodard was sparring with the knights, clashing swords and angry Noel swearing, breaking the peace. Leroy decided to check on Cornell and get away from the noise. The door to Cornell's guest hut was left open. Upon looking in, Leroy saw the Golden Grung's map of the swampland sitting on the floor. Also on the floor was the Pink Dragon King himself, flat on his back, gazing upward. He didn't seem to notice Leroy come in. Leroy: everything going well? Cornell: well, I would say so. Any luck with the goblin? Sadly, no. I can't find a plant needed for the potion. Too bad. Where can you find it? I should be able to find it in the Moon Valley Marketplace. It's just a drawback about being in the middle of nowhere like this. Understandable. I'm getting rather bored with this place myself. I do not miss being a nomad, that's for sure. Bad memories coming back? You could say that. A story for another time, perhaps. But right now we need to get that soul. I will not return to my Veronica empty-handed. We are as prepared as we can be. Are you ready to go? Yes, I just have to wake up Star Ruby. Everyone gathered at the edge of the Grung village. Cornell said thanks to the Golden Grung for all the help before heading out. Okay, everyone. We should find the Great Worm's lair to the north. 3 days away. Make sure you have all you need. We will not be stopping too many times unless there are any emergencies. The party marched forward, Cornell trying to push down the butterflies in his stomach. That's all I got. Have a nice day. Thank you, Timothy. Appreciate it. As always. Seeing how the books are written could form your opinion, though. I'd admit that. Yeah, in fact, during that time, it did help me with my assessment of the books being written in a very different way as to how they've been written for 3 and 5. It does feel a lot less flowery with its language, or at least there's something different. It does feel a bit more like a games manual than it does what I'm used to from seeing in well, so that's not even the same. Like, I wouldn't even put it that way, because it's still the same in a lot of ways, but it's just written differently, right? I think I talked about it enough in the episode. Maybe I'll have a better grasp of what I'm trying to say when I read it again. But anyway. That's all the comments, so thank you for the comments, of course, for all of you who have commented or will comment. As always, we'll read them. I will move on to the shouting and the shilling, of course. So, if you wish to support us further, you can go to our website, www.tabletalkdnd.us and go over to the Support Us Further page. For some reason, the other URL is not working, and it's really annoying me, and I will figure it out. More mechanical, less immersive, I guess, from what I've seen. It's something like that, yeah. I really would have to think about it. Anyway. So, we have a Patreon and a Ko-Fi. If you wish to join either of those and become a table flipper, you can. The Patreon is right here, patreon.com/tabletalkcrew. Ko-Fi, sorry, your eyeballs. ko-fi.com/tabletalkcrew. You can even donate directly using Ko-Fi. Basically, this is just for supporting the show. If you wish to throw us a buck here or there, up to you, of course. A big thank you goes out to our Tier 4 table flippers, that being Steely, Draco Kraken, and Rick, aka Unit Rico. Big thank you to all of you, of course, for continuing to be table flippers of such a degree. We appreciate you immensely, of course. A thank you goes out to Crimson Rose as well at Tier 2, and a thank you to our Tier 1 contributor. Little as $1 a month if you wish to join either of these, up to you, but don't do so unless you're financially able / want to, of course. Of course, we also have our Fourth Wall shop if you wish to get some actual physical stuff that helps support us a little bit. That being the Sunrise and Sin City mats here that you can use, the keychains, the dice, the coasters, as well as the Mug Jerry posters, the small Tabletop Crew mousepad, and the notebook. All of this stuff is available to you over at in the description. There's a link, as well as you can type in the-tabletalk-crew-shop.fourthwall.com. It's a bit of a mouthful, but, you know, it is one of those things. So, go there if you wish to purchase some physical stuff. Up to you, of course. Continuing on. My goodness. You can donate directly with the stream elements here. It utilizes PayPal only because I can't get it to connect to using a card. I'm going to try again at some point to try to get it so that it's actually maybe working like I would like it to, so you don't have to use PayPal if you don't want to. But that is up to you. If you wish to, that stuff does show up in the stream if you utilize this to donate directly. We're also affiliated with Humble Bundle. So if you go over to Humble Bundle using our link in the description, you can give us a little bit of a kickback if you buy anything through Humble Bundle. Right now, it looks like we've got 5th edition Lost Lands Adventure for 5th edition. Looks like. Frog God Games. Gross. Looks like you've got a lot of 5e stuff there if you want some more 5e stuff. Blood Lagoon. Sick. And looks like, is there anything else right here? I mean, obviously you've got all the games and the other stuff. That's up to you if you want that. I'm just focusing on stuff that is more relevant to the channel right now. I know we do games and stuff, so, you know, whatever. But yeah, using the link, you can give us a little bit of a kickback. Go buy some stuff through Humble Bundle. Love that site. Continuing right along, we're also affiliated with Drive-Thru RPG, Fiction, Comics, and Cards. You can go over there and get Drive-Thru RPG stuff, that being PDFs of a lot of the popular games, as well as some new or custom-made content from the community. And if you use the link in our description, within 15 days of purchasing something, after using the link, you give us a bit of a kickback. I think it's about 4 or 5%. Up to you if you want to. This is the site that I use to give people their books when we do giveaways. It's a good site. A lot of cool stuff. Mothership is going on right now, looks like. So go for it. Yeah, that's it. That's everything. That's all the stuff. A little hung up on that minor point. Oh, what for? Oh, less arcane, maybe? That might be the word. Oh, I'm not sure, honestly. But yeah. Thank you everybody for joining us for the evening. We appreciate it immensely. Hope you continue to enjoy the show. If you're new, think about potentially subscribing, liking the videos, commenting, letting us know that you're there. And if you're not new, hey, we'll see you next week, I guess. I suppose, yeah, that's it. So, see you next week, everybody. Thanks. Bye-bye. Goodbye. Bye-bye.